Learned optimism serves as a powerful antidote to learned helplessness. It can truly transform the way we approach challenges and setbacks in life. It has been linked to better mental and physical health. Optimistic individuals tend to experience lower stress levels, reduced risk of depression, and even improved immune function. Learned optimism is not just about feeling good, but it's also about promoting overall well-being. In this video, we'll explore what learned optimism is, why is it important, and what are some of the strategies we can use to combat learned helplessness. So let's dive in. Hi everyone, my name is Aiena. I'm a flight attendant and a cabin crew trainer. Apart from travel, other topics that excite me are leadership, health, and wellness. Welcome to this channel. We all know one of those people who is endlessly optimistic. They're the ones you might jokingly refer to as crazy or maybe naive, as they look at the positives most of the time, or they start looking for solutions that might work in their favor. The good news is that even the most pessimistic people can cultivate a more optimistic behavior. To kick things off, let's quickly revisit what learned helplessness is. It's that feeling of being stuck, convinced that no matter what you do, things won't get better. It can stem from various experiences such as toxic relationships, bullying, or even chronic stress. But here's the key. It's a learned belief and it can be unlearned. That's where learned optimism comes into play. If you haven't watched the video on learned helplessness, click on the link above to learn more about it. Learned optimism, on the other hand, is a process of recognizing and challenging pessimistic thoughts in order to develop more positive behaviors. This concept in psychology aims to help people find new ways to manage tough situations and improve their overall well-being. This term, learned optimism, was first coined by one of the founders of positive psychology, Dr. Martin Seligman. In the 1970s, he had already done quite a bit of work on learned helplessness, and through that work, he showed that learned optimism, just like learned helplessness, is not a trait, but something that can be learned and cultivated over time. It's about training our minds to focus on the positive aspects of a situation, even in the face of adversity. Now, at the same time, we must remember that it's not about denying challenges and facts, but approaching them with the belief that you have the power to overcome them. It's about being realistically optimistic. But why is optimism important? According to research, optimism is a significant predictor of positive health outcomes. Optimistic people eat healthier, exercise regularly, and get plenty of sleep. The ability to face challenges with a positive attitude means that optimists experience less stress. They're also more resilient. For example, when faced with a challenge at work, an optimist will take a problem-solving approach and use stress management techniques to keep their emotions in check. Since optimists are more resilient to adversity than pessimists, they also live longer, as stress can be one of the risk factors for many diseases such as heart disease. Optimistic people report having greater mental fitness than those who tend to be more pessimistic, as they have a more balanced view of most situations. They're not swayed by extreme views in life. Learned optimism can help you stay motivated because when you believe that you can achieve your goals, you're more likely to continue to pursue them. Optimists have a growth mindset and tend to view challenges as opportunities to learn and improve. Now, some people might think you're either born naturally optimistic or naturally pessimistic, and that is partly true. Genetic predisposition does play a role. If your parents are optimistic, then it's more likely you will be too. But our levels of optimism and pessimism are also influenced by childhood experiences. This might include the family's emotional or financial stability. People from challenging backgrounds can develop negative self-talk and a pessimistic mindset. But can we learn to be more optimistic? According to Martin Seligman, ABCDE model can help us to change our mental habits. This model builds on the work of cognitive behavioral therapist Aaron Beck and the ABCD approach developed by rational emotive behavioral therapist Albert Ellis. Now, both approaches focus on identifying and challenging negative thoughts and how to reframe them. ABCDs in Seligman's ABCDE model stands for adversity, belief, consequence, disputation, and energization. Let's take a look at how to use it in practice. It will be beneficial to do this exercise with me. So grab a pen and a piece of paper, please, and write those 5 words out on that piece of paper. I'm going to share an example with you, and you can think of a negative belief that you're stuck with. So imagine that I recently started taking night classes after work for a master's degree. I got my first set of exam results back and I didn't get the grades that I was hoping for. I got a B+. I'll pen that down in the adversity section. What are my beliefs? My first reaction was, what awful grades! You're a loser, Raina. I no doubt did the worst in the class. I'm so stupid. And I'm also just too old to be studying at this age. What was I thinking when I enrolled? I won't be able to graduate. In the consequences section, think about the outcome because of those beliefs of yours. Now for me, I felt totally dejected and useless. I was embarrassed and I think I should withdraw from my master's program and just be satisfied with the job I have. And that's what I wrote down on that piece of paper. Disputation is my favorite step. In this step, you dispute your negative beliefs. Think of examples that prove them wrong. So I wrote down, I've almost always got A's throughout my life, but I'm blowing things out of proportion this time. I hoped to get all A's, but I got a B this time. As I was reflecting more, I realized that B isn't an awful grade. One reason I may not have done as well as I'd like to is because I have a lot of other things going on in my life that takes away the time that I can spend studying, right? I have a full-time job. I have household chores to complete every day. I think that given my situation, I did a pretty good job on my exams. Now, after disputation, I started coming up with solutions about how I can score better in my future exams. In the last step, make a note of how you feel after challenging your beliefs. I felt much better about myself and my exams. I also came up with strategies for studying well in the future. I concluded that I will not withdraw from my master's program and I will put in the hard work. ABCD model is a great way of teaching yourself to be more optimistic. But please understand that too much optimism can lead to toxic positivity. It can also lead people to take risks because they underestimate the level of danger involved. What we need in life is realistic optimism. Now, like most things in life, we need to learn how to strike a balance. So what are some other ways of overcoming learned helplessness? If you're struggling to manage on your own, consider therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy can be effective in reducing learned helplessness symptoms. One of the techniques used in CBT is cognitive restructuring, and you can learn all about it by clicking on the link above. Now, before we talk about other ways of reducing learned helplessness, let's briefly talk about children going through learned helplessness and how teachers and parents can help them. Normalize and celebrate failure, as we can teach them that without failure, we don't learn, and that it's okay to fail from time to time. Praise and encourage the effort that they put in and not the perceived intrinsic ability of a child, for example, how intelligent they are. Teach them to embrace challenges as opportunities to learn and grow and view failures as stepping stones towards success. Work with kids and set bite-sized goals and celebrate in a big way when they achieve each goal. Now, that's a bit about how we can help kids out. What are some of the other ways we can use to overcome learned helplessness? Getting social support and encouragement from others may also be helpful. When you feel helpless in the face of a challenge, supportive people can help you feel more motivated and encouraged to keep trying. They can also make you look at things from different perspectives. Learned helplessness can interfere with your productivity and cause you to doubt your own abilities. So set achievable goals and celebrate small victories to build confidence. An easy yet a powerful way to come out of learned helplessness is to ask yourself, what can I control? If you realize that nothing about this situation can be changed, let go of them and shift your focus to something you can control and change. Pay attention to your thoughts and emotions without judgment. Mindfulness can help you become more aware of negative thinking patterns and give you the opportunity to redirect your focus towards the positive and the present moment. Cultivating a deep awareness of your own thought patterns, your emotional responses and behaviors can help to recognize moments when learned helplessness tries to take hold and influence your actions. Here's a video about self-awareness that might be helpful. Interestingly, one study suggests that exercise may help reduce symptoms of learned helplessness. Now, that's another reason for you and me to hit the gym or just go for a walk more often. Other self-care strategies such as getting enough sleep, managing stress levels, and eating a healthy diet can also help people support a greater sense of control over their life. The key to unlocking a more positive and resilient mindset is through learned optimism. Use the ABCDE model and cognitive restructuring exercises to challenge and change your pessimistic thoughts. Remember that it's a journey, not a destination. So be patient with yourself. Which strategy are you excited to try first? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more empowering content. On that note, till we meet again, Aiena signing off, and may you develop strategies for a more optimistic and resilient you.